The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
CareerBuilder is made for people who have that thing. You know, those superpowers that make you good at your job, the skills you bring to work. And CareerBuilder knows those skills make you right for other jobs too. Higher paying jobs with benefits. Jobs you never thought of trying. Are you a people person? Work from home as a customer service rep? Are you organized and like driving? Become a delivery driver. You have the skills it takes, and CareerBuilder.com has the jobs to get you hired fast. Visit CareerBuilder.com.
The dark web can be like a restaurant for identity thieves.
Hi, ready to order?
I'll have the driver's license number.
Great, that comes with a home address or a birth date.
Ooh, both, please.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year at LifeLock.com/aware. Identity theft protection starts here.
There are more ways to celebrate than ever before at the Jeep Celebration event, where right now, well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2022 Grand Cherokee WK Laredo E4x4 for $209 a month for 24 months with $5,339 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution, at least to Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 5/1/23. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 5/2/22. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Happy holiday, everybody. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Yeah, hopefully you had a happy 420.
Yeah.
Is that the holiday, or are you talking about Easter?
No, 420.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about Easter?
All right, Catholics. That's about it. Kids, because it's another excuse for them to get like presents and candy.
Yeah, they get shit. They get to. People still like. Well, I guess that's right. They do. Kids do still wait to see the Easter Bunny, because there was an unfortunate story in the news this last week.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
A young girl was shot in a mall shooting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, did the people even do? Oh, yeah, I remember that story. Oh, shit. Why did I bring that up? Moving on.
Yeah, right. When are we going to connect presents and candy to 420?
Yeah. That's a good point. We should just start.
Make some lore, some ritual with 420. Like Tommy Chong's going to come down your chimney? No. It takes effort.
Yeah, Tommy Chong took some swag and turned it into enough blunts for everybody.
Right. No. We'll never turn him into Jesus. I was thinking more like Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a Jesus holiday, right?
Leave out pizza and beer for Tommy Chong.
Would he be? I think we got to pick who's a dead stoner.
Well, Tommy will be dead soon.
Well,
Jerry Garcia.
You just want to wait? Okay, but that's like more. I think of acid.
Yeah, it's like leave out shrooms and.
Yeah. Leave out the psychedelics for Jerry.
Well, yeah, who's a really famous dead stoner?
Yeah,
this would be a weird Google search.
I can't think of one because
really famous dead.
They tend to live
stoner.
a long time, don't they? Really figured. I got to know what these Google search results are going to come up with.
Here you go. The 10 biggest stoners of all time. Well, no, these people are alive. They're all alive.
All of them are alive. They're all alive because old hippies don't die. They just smell that way.
Here you go. Oh boy. It's from the Bro Bible.
The Bro Bible?
They have the 8 most famous stoners throughout history.
Okay.
Queen Victoria.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is fucking George Washington in this list? They could tell us the founding fathers grew their own shit.
Pablo Picasso. Ramses II.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc.
On 420, Ramses II will come down your chimney.
What's that? Zoroaster?
Make sure to leave a small Coptic jar full of chocolates for Ramses II on this 420 holiday.
Billy Shakespeare, and yes, George Washington.
That's how you do it. Fucking do it.
And keeping with the theme, final name on the list, Jesus.
Jesus was a stoner, huh? So that's it. All we got to do is just rebrand Jesus with some dreadlocks and shift the date over to 420.
Call him Jesus.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone has the 50 most successful marijuana enthusiasts you should know. We're not going to go through all 50. Let's see if we can find anybody who's alive.
That sounds like a more. They're all going to be alive because they're influencers.
Oh wait, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, but again, like Hunter S. Thompson is everything, right?
That's true. Abraham Lincoln.
Like Hunter
on this
Hunter
list.
S. Thompson smoking a joint is as close as he gets to sober. What was the other one?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll either have to just sit around and wait for either Tommy Chong or Willie Nelson to die. And then they can be the patron saint of 420.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I think he's known for other things more than pot.
Peter Tosh.
Plus, wasn't he an acid head?
Who was that?
Steve Jobs.
Maybe.
I think he was into acid more. See, I guess Jack in the Box celebrated 420.
Don't they do it with tacos or some shit?
They did it with a Pineapple Express shake for only $4.20 on 420. They tweeted that out as a reminder on 420 to get your shake. Which
pineapple shake?
I guess. Yeah, they're calling it Pineapple Express for obvious reference.
Is it weed flavored?
I hope not, and I doubt it.
What sucks? We're not getting one here.
I think it's just pineapple.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, we don't get Jack in the Box anymore.
What's up with you in the Midwest, Jack in the Box? What the fuck?
So we used to have Jack in the Box.
Where? Never on the east side. Maybe you down River Folk had it.
My mom used to work at a Jack in the Box.
And I guess you did. It was never, at least, I have conscious memories. I don't know, there's no Jack in the Box. Like, I didn't have Jack in the Box till, like, within the last decade when I started traveling out west.
So, second most popular search on Jack in the Box, did Jack in the Box use horse meat? Because that was the big rumor. Like, we all thought that they closed down all the Jack in the Boxes in the area because the rumor, just from the same sources that brought you the gerbil and Richard Gere's ass and the gallon of cum in Rod Stewart's belly brings you Jack in the Box served horse meat to its customers. According to Eater.com, should U.S. customers worry about horse meat in their food? Let's see. This is all overseas.
Oh, man.
Okay, so they asked a bunch of restaurants if they use horse meat. What the fuck? Jack in the Box does not use horse meat. Jack in the Box does not have any international locations. We operate only in the U.S. Yeah, I wonder if that's how it started. Maybe they actually did serve horse meat overseas, like one of these companies. But so you had never heard that about the Jack in the Box and horse meat?
No, I mean, I know they had the thing with wasn't it E. coli in the 80s? Isn't that what shut a lot of them down?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't heard of that.
Oh, look at that. I found a list of where Jack in the Box was in Michigan.
Oh.
They actually were on the east side, but I guess they weren't that close to me. They weren't like in my hood. Because, yeah, it says Dearborn Heights, Detroit, Farmington Hills, Grosse Pointe Woods, Madison Heights, Monroe, Pontiac, Roseville, Romulus, Royal Oak, Southfield, Southgate, Taylor, Warren, Westland, Ypsi.
Okay, so here's according to Wikipedia, 1981, horse meat labeled as beef was discovered at a food maker plant that supplied hamburger and taco meat to the Jack in the Box.
Oh, no.
The meat was originally from Profreeze of Australia. Profreeze of Australia. And during their checks on location, the food inspectors discovered other shipments destined for the United States, which included kangaroo meat. I don't think we'd have a problem with kangaroo meat, even though they're just like horses on their back legs, right? That's all a kangaroo is. It's they're the smarter horses that stood up so you couldn't ride them.
Hey, the CVS at 13 and Woodward used to be the Jack in the Box.
The CVS where? On Woodward? And downtown?
At Woodward and 13 Mile in Royal Oak.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't ever remember eating at one as a child. I just remember my mom telling me about how she used to work at one.
Oh, Taylor was one at 25255 Eureka and one at 8150 Telegraph.
But when?
What says one's now a Sprint and one's now a Thrifty Florist.
Not any time in the last 40 years, I'd say.
Yeah, there are no dates on these. Like, well, a couple things. It says like the Dearborn one. It says became Tubby's 1982. So yeah, these are clearly probably from the 70s. Hey, in this search, I did find a nifty little article here.
This is it. Wait a minute. Jack in the Box was owned by the Ralston Purina Company.
Oh, no!
That's not...
that
doesn't sound good.
Let's not go down that dog food hole.
They must be doing well, though, because they announced last December that they were... I don't know if they went through this... expected to be finalized first quarter of 2022, but they're trying to acquire Del Taco. Which Del Taco is doing really well. I mean, we've seen Del Taco is one of those restaurant chains that was almost only on the West Coast, and just within like the last 10 years has just been popping up everywhere. I've got I have my choice of Del Tacos now.
I enjoy the Value Taco.
I enjoy their Macho Taco.
I also enjoy the...
Because I'm a macho man.
What's the burrito that I get? The beef, the one that's just a bunch of beef.
Okay. I usually go for their bean burrito, but I have them add onions to it because they don't normally put onions in it. And I don't know how you can, like, a bean burrito has to have something for texture, right? You can't just have a hot load of fucking melted beans and cheese. Because, I mean, you might as well just drink a bean burrito.
I said, no, you want that Taco Bell. You want the onions in it.
Yeah, exactly. I always get it with onions.
I tell you, my burrito hack at Taco Bell, where I essentially get them to make me the old beef burrito.
Uh-huh. What is it?
I just order a bean burrito, and I say no beans, and they add extra beef. So I get the beef with the red sauce, the onions, the cheese. Oh.
That's a good burrito. I'm surprised they don't offer that one.
That's the old beef burrito, like the beef burrito. Yeah. When you ordered a beef burrito when we were kids,
wait, was
that's
that
what
the
you got.
Bell Beefer?
I think it's the same as the bean burrito, just with beef instead of beans, and it's delicious.
I don't really remember that one. The Mexican pizza was good. They're bringing that back next month. Finally getting that Mexican pizza back.
Somewhere my sister is rejoicing. She was one of the pissed off masses.
I never really got it. I've tried it out, but I wasn't a big fan of the Mexican pizza. It seemed like it was always like too expensive for what you actually got.
I mean, I wasn't in the fan club either, but I know many of my friends who were. So, I mean, I can't shit talk it because I know plenty of people who always got it.
I thought there was more people were missing the tostada than the Mexican pizza.
Well, that's the thing is, like,
tostada was a more popular item.
Isn't that just a way for them to upcharge you for like a mega tostada? Isn't that really what a Mexican pizza was?
I'll give them that. I think that, I don't know if there was overlap, but I remember the tostada going away, and then I remember the Mexican pizza, and the Mexican pizza is just a far superior tostada. You
got an extra piece of chip, that's why. Instead
not only
of one
that,
chip,
but
you got two.
it wasn't as hard, right? It was more that like deep fried type of tortilla instead of the hard corn tortilla. Because a tostada was just a flat taco.
But yeah, it was the layering. It was a little more substantial than just like a tostada. You're afraid if you the wrong bite, it all comes tumbling down. The Mexican pizza, yes. You're not afraid.
Yeah,
had that heft to it.
Yes, enjoy with no fear. Your Mexican pizza. So we got way off track here, debating the finer points of the Taco Bell menu. But I brought up Jack in the Box originally, so they posted about their Pineapple Express shake. And Seth Rogen responded to this saying, this has nothing to do with the Pineapple Express, with the movie Pineapple Express.
Is he just bored?
We had nothing to do with this and weren't asked if we wanted our film associated with this. And obviously, if we did a tie-in, it would have to be to promote those bizarre fucking diarrhea-inducing taco things they sell.
Like,
okay.
he's in that class of people with like, remember when they were funny? Like, is he going to go after all the dispensaries that sell Pineapple Express weed? Does he have a statement for them as well?
Did he invent it? I thought, or the term Pineapple Express was already a strain, or he made that up for the movie.
Oh, looks like we got another question for the Google machine.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I feel like we've gone down this rabbit hole before.
Well, if we forgot, our listeners did too.
Let's see.
G13 Labs claims it created the original strain in the mid-2000s, selecting Trainwreck and Hawaiian as parent genetics.
We named it after our movie when we created it. There was no Pineapple Express weed before the movie. This is from an article from June 6th, 2021.
Yeah, and it says right here, didn't exist until after the 2008 movie.
Okay, so is he going to go after? I was just at the dispensary before the show.
Yeah, but I don't know. So, like, disputing claims. Like, Seth Rogen says that he made it up for the movie. G13 says that they developed it in the mid-2000s, predating the 2008 movie. Let's see, where does Pineapple Express originated from? A well-known example of a strong atmospheric river is called the Pineapple Express because moisture builds up in the tropical Pacific. Oh, so it's an actual term.
So shut up, Seth Rogen.
Well, no, I mean, he took a term for,
mad at a shake flavor
for a region of Hawaii and applied it to his weed name. So I think it's still original.
It's just petty to talk shit about a milkshake. And those tacos are good. I've had them. Do you recall when Burger King...
Jack in the Box tacos?
Do you recall when Burger King tried to compete with the Jack in the Box? Well, I didn't know this until I had the Jack in the Box tacos.
They did tacos? Burger King did?
Oh, yeah. Like 2002 for like 3 months.
Okay.
Because I was working a night shift at the radio station and I'd get them for fucking dinner every day on my way home. And yeah, no, they're little. They just got beef and they got fucking 2 slices of cheese on them. Like the cheese
slices.
Like the cheese they put on the hamburgers.
I don't know.
And there's taco sauce. No, and they're fucking delicious.
All right.
Don't knock them till you tried them.
Okay. Are these hard tacos?
Yeah. They're like giant versions of like the mini tacos you get at bars. That's how I would describe the taste. Like, now if you're looking for traditional Mexican fare,
well, no, I get it.
I'm not recommending these.
No, but for fast food fare, it's a good bet, huh?
For high-on stoner food, I'm just saying, it's your vape pen or your whatever you hit nowadays or eat an edible and get yourself a couple Jack in the Box tacos. You won't be sorry.
So Elon's buying Twitter?
Is that still going through?
It sounds like it. I mean, they tried to poison pill him, or there was a certain term for it. But basically this maneuver where they kind of force the potential buyer to pay an inflated price. So they were basically saying okay, you can buy us, but you're gonna suffer for it.
And he went, do you know how long the waiting list for Teslas are? Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's got his own move. Elon's move is because he bought a significant portion of their shares before he made his bid to buy them outright. That means that if they say that if they deny his bid, then he can dump all of his shares and tank the price of the stock.
Yep. He's in a nice little
everything's
coming up Elon.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I frankly don't give a fuck.
Think somewhere,
right?
Jack Dorsey's snapping a pencil.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point, we've proven, even though, most people are still using Facebook and Instagram, which is all Meta, it's still proved that the platform can make a difference, but ultimately what matters is who's on the platform. So if Elon buys Twitter and changes it, then all those people that used to love Twitter for what it once was will find some other app. Or for that matter, if I'm not active on Twitter per se, but I do use Facebook and Instagram to keep in touch with friends and family. And if Elon bought Facebook and ruined it, just saying if he did ruin Facebook or any social media platform I would just find wherever my friends went.
I don't think he wants to ruin it.
No, I know. I'm not saying that Elon Musk does want to ruin it. What I'm saying is all these fears over what Elon could do are kind of moot.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why he did it, because he saw other people be try and start their own social media platform and fail, like the president.
This is a fuck me money move.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to lose.
Yeah.
But, if he buys Twitter and then lets Trump on the platform again, that'll ruin democracy across the world, Chris. Don't you realize?
It'll fucking be entertaining as fuck.
Did you not realize that the entire ethos behind Western democracy hinges on one of the least used social media platforms, Twitter?
Who is saying this nonsense?
People.
Wow.
People are saying it. Twitter users are saying it.
So if someone is allowed to go on the platform and say things contrary to what other people believe, that's it for democracy?
Yeah. Exactly. The problem with modern democracy is too mumuch speech, Chris. There's just too much of it.
It's a hell of a bouncing ball to try to follow.
Yeah.
I always keep coming back to that quote from Rich. 1984 was not supposed to be an instruction manual.
Yeah.
I say bring him back. It'll be entertaining again.
Sorry, what's entertaining again?
Trump on Twitter.
Oh. I don't know. I don't care if he comes back. The problem is that as soon as he's back on Twitter, all those users will then start retweeting and commenting and doing all the stuff that helped promote him before. That's the problem with Trump being on Twitter. It's not that he has, his influence is too great with the help of a social media platform, and we have to, make sure that he's hobbled in some way. It's stop all of his detractors and it's the same thing that happened in his original presidential run. He got free advertisement from every news media organization, both those that loved him and hated him. Way more coverage than anybody else. And just the idea of saying Trump and president helped get him elected. You say it enough times.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, do I think that Trump has a chance of becoming president again if he runs again? That's a long shot. And I don't think him being on Twitter is going to, like, do anything to change that.
He'll probably run DeSantis anyway. He's younger. He looks good on TV.
Elon Musk says he doesn't own a home right now and rotates around friends' spare rooms. He doesn't own a home.
Okay. Yeah, okay, Elon, you're couch surfing.
Yeah.
Okay. Although his friend's spare rooms could be as big as my house. So there is that.
Says, I don't even own a place right now. I'm literally staying with friends at friends' places. But he's got a wife and kid, right? Or don't they have 2 kids now?
He's got 2 kids. He's got they broke up.
Oh, where's his kids stay? Okay, so the kids are with the mom. That's why he's got no home. I didn't know they split. I don't really follow the personal life.
Well, she's a weirdo. That's that Grimes chick.
Yeah, I actually heard some of her music the other day, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty damn cool. It was fun shit. I mean, it's nothing earth-shattering. But, like, it's fun. It's fun techno pop.
I'm surprised they split. They were 2 weirdos in a pod.
Well,
nothing like your baby daddy being the world's richest man. Don't think Elon's sweating buying diapers.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
So I think we might be finally ready to tear down Einstein.
Lay it on me.
No, it's actually that we've talked about this before, but the model of the universe that Einstein presented the world has held up surprisingly well, and has been this, as we call it, the standard model for the universe. And we've been able to confirm his measurements, his equations over and over again with actual measurements. But as we start getting down into the subatomic world, that's where we find that standard model breaks down. And they found a huge clue to what the new model might be, because they measured what they call you know what a boson is?
I know. Damn it. The boson-Higgs collider is a thing, right?
No, that's the no. So like,
no.
There's the Large Hadron Collider. The Higgs boson is one of the bosons that they're looking for. So bosons are subatomic particles, right? And they usually they're created in times of change, so it's almost like a transitional phase. Like, they only exist for like fractions of a second. So what they do is they take regular particles, they smash them into each other in that collider, and so they smashed thousands, maybe even millions of times they smashed these particles together and tried to get a measurement of what they broke into, right? And the W boson was one that they measured, and it turns out that this is like way heavier than it should be. Meaning that if they took the standard model of the universe and took that equation and applied it to this particle, it would spit out a number of how much weight each element in that atom had, each particle in that atom had. And that should add up to something, and it should all, mathematically make sense. But this doesn't. So there's something, so we've known for a long time that the equation didn't fully work, but we weren't able to get good enough measurements to determine why and how. So now we're able to get good enough measurements to tell us how, like how much are we off? And just knowing that, like standard model says it should weigh this much, and our actual measurements say it weighs this much more, gives us a number to work off of to start figuring out where the difference comes from. You know what I mean? So this could very well be the starting point for creating a new model for how the universe works, from everything from, stars and black holes all the way down to the little bosons that make up particles, that make up atoms, that make up everything.
Well, I thought you were going to tell me Einstein was racist.
Nope.
Like, they found out he was from Germany, and now he's canceled.
Sorry, I was just looking there's part of it. Oh, here we go. So W bosons. What is a W boson? Together with Z bosons, mediate the weak force. So there's 4 fundamental forces in the universe. And this is all comes from the standard model. Gravity, electromagnetism. Those are, 2 that are on a big enough scale that, we can see and experience, and, we can do everyday experiments with those ones. The strong force and the weak force are the other 2. Those are at a subatomic level. And according to Wired magazine, the weak force, that they say, it doesn't so much push or pull as much as it transforms heavy particles into lighter ones. So that's what I was saying earlier. It only exists in a transitionary phase.
Hold on.
Also, I'm very high.
Yeah.
Trying to process all this stuff.
Yeah. And there's a quote in here from theoretical physicist at Fermilab, Chris Quigg, who says, I would say this is not a discovery, but a provocation. This now gives a reason to come to terms with this outlier. So, if future experiments hold true, if everybody's getting the same math on the weight of this W boson, then that means that the science community as a whole has to come to terms with the standard model doesn't work at a subatomic level. We've now proven that. Now starts the work of where do we go next? We need a new model.
Could this lead to intergalactic starships?
It could lead to anything. I mean, the start of a new model means a greater understanding of the subatomic world. And that's everything. If we're able to actually control atoms to the point where we can, all new science is indistinguishable from magic. And if we're able to control things at a subatomic level, then we can turn lead into gold, literally. We could turn, carbon into organs. We could turn.
Are you saying we could never die?
We could turn garbage into unlimited energy.
Mr. Fusion.
We could control the environment.
So what you're saying is this is kind of a big deal.
Well, it's the start of a big deal. I mean, it's yeah. I think that in not in our lifetimes, probably, or maybe, who knows, but future generations will be studying whatever their new model is, and they'll probably look at, this year in 2022, when they made the discovery that was the building block for the new set of knowledge. I mean, honestly, it's every bit as big a discovery as Einstein's calculations.
A whole new world. A whole new universe. Literally.
Yeah. Any remaining discrepancy in the W boson mass would point toward the unknown. That's just what it is, the unknown. But the unknown can be a discovery, right? Because what did what's his nuts talk about? The known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. So previously, the subatomic physics was a unknown unknown. Like, we don't even know what we don't know. And now it's a known unknown, which means we know what we don't know, which is more information, vastly much more information than an unknown unknown. It's not completely known, but it's a lot more than not even knowing where to look.
He's made some stoner's head explode.
Both HBO and Apple TV have been killing it with television lately.
Really?
Absolutely. I've really loved Minx from HBO.
Isn't that the Paul Feig thing?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a fictional take on the creation of the first magazine to feature male nudity. And it's done in a very traditional kind of TV format way. You take two kind of really different characters. I mean, it's moonlighting, right? In this case, you have one guy who's kind of sleazy porn producer, makes all these traditional men's porn mags, and you take a quote-unquote uptight woman who is very feminist and is looking to get her, feminist manifestos published. And the porn producer manages to convince her that, like, you package your info with sex and do it with the veneer of, like, women's libs say that men can, be objectified as well, then we got something we can sell. And you can get your message across. So that's what it's about. But very charming. Unfamiliar with the female lead in it. But she's super charming. I really dig what she's doing. I've seen the male, I forget his name, but he's been in a couple other TV shows that didn't really do anything. Like, what was the one they adapted from a comic that was about a private eye in Seattle? And he was like a bar owner. But anyway, he looks like a cut rate Oscar Isaacs, actually. But it's fun. It's it's a comedy drama format. It's a half hour, so everything moves along really quick. It's raunchy, of course, as you would expect it to be, given the subject matter and the platform. And it's probably the most dicks per minute of any television show ever.
Really? Even more than Euphoria?
Oh yeah, it's got a higher DPM than Euphoria.
DPM. Also known as CPM.
Oh, is it cocks per minute?
Depending on your vernacular.
Yeah. Also, Julia is fantastic.
What's that?
That might be my favorite show on TV right now. And it's about Julia Child.
Oh, not Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
No. I thought it was kind of weird, since we're not that far removed from the movie with, who was it, the really famous Academy Award-winning actor who did Julia Child, Meryl Streep, right? She won a fucking award for that, right? I think she won an award for Julia, but I mean, her performance was certainly praised. And I'm like, wow, it seems like you'd want to wait a longer time to, like, get some distance between you and an award-winning performance of that same character. But they went for it, and I think the actor that they have for Julia does a better job. I think she's just fantastic.
Julie and Julia, she was nominated. She did not win.
She was nominated. Okay, so she was nominated for an Academy Award for that. And
she has only won 3. Oh, only. She's only won 3. She's been, Jesus Christ, she's been nominated fucking, like,
I can't
over
imagine.
a dozen times. But she won for Kramer versus Kramer in 1980. She won for Sophie's Choice in 1983. And she won for The Iron Lady in 2012. And she played Thatcher.
Yep. So Sarah Lancashire, I guess is how her last name is pronounced. She plays Julia Child in this new adaptation of her story. And the cast is just fantastic. David Hyde Pierce as her husband Paul, and Baby Newworth as Avis, her friend. So there's kind of that, let's see. Have they ever worked together? Because like David I. Pierce was only on Frasier. Did Bebe Neuwirth ever show up on Frasier? I know she was Lilith, but did she wasn't really, I don't remember her being on Frasier. I remember her being...
She was on a few times. She had a cameo here and there.
But we knew her more, she was more a Cheers character.
Yes and no, because she was on Frasier a handful. It's because...
I think she was on Cheers way more than she was on Frasier.
It's another... By the way, while I'm looking this up, can I talk about...
Yeah?
Bebe Neuwirth, underestimated for hotness.
Dude, how old is she? Like, I mean, born in 58. So, yeah, she's almost 20 years older than I am. So that puts her, about 65, something like that? She looks great. I mean, she's not one of these, like, weird actresses, like, she doesn't age. Like, she does age. She looks like she's 68, and she also looks like she takes care of herself, and, and she's still, like, I'd hit it. I've always thought that she was, like, sexy as fuck.
Oh, there you go, man. She appeared in 80 episodes of Cheers and 12 episodes of Frasier.
Boom. So she is a Cheers character. And I'm still enjoying WeWork, or not called WeWork, We Fail, We Something, the WeWork docudrama.
Yeah, all they essentially were was a leasing agency, and they turned it into fucking something crazy.
Well, that's what the show's about. It's like, he keeps talking about how, like, this can be applied to everything, and they want to start opening up schools and. It's just like, but you have no business model. Like, your business model is buy property, which is a great business model.
Yeah, but
you don't have a
leasing agent.
But you don't have a business model that applies to other things.
You can't lease to a school. Well, maybe you can. I know
Well, they were looking at opening up their own schools.
I mean,
it just doesn't translate. It's not even about, like, we can take this leasing into other areas. It was just like, because we're good at leasing office space. That means that we should start our own school.
I mean, post-COVID, this guy should revisit his business model. He could make a ton of money. Like, all of these things all of this commercial real estate that doesn't really need it anymore.
Yeah, there's all this, the idea behind his success is that he's just, crazy enough to have the vision, the vision to succeed. But all you're doing is watch somebody who, like, made an astounding amount of money in a short period of time and really dominate a market, throw it all away because he couldn't appreciate what he had. I mean, he could have just continued to be filthy fucking rich.
No, man, I heard it on a podcast I listened to. I don't know which one because I listened to a bunch, but it's eventually once you get money, it's not enough. Then you got to go for power.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, certainly this all revolves around money. He needs money for this and that and these big numbers that get thrown around. But it's never about what the money does. The money is just a stand-in for power, for the idea of power.
To a certain point, it is power.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, it's what makes the world go round, right?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate power. And Slow Horses on Apple TV as well is really good. If you're into something more traditional, if you like spy thrillers that have some nice twists and turns and some nice noir touches, Slow Horses is really good. I read the book that it was based on. This story has nothing to do with the book, but very enjoyable. And very nasty performance from, what's his nuts? Very nasty performance from Gary Oldman, who's always farting, belching, and drinking and smoking.
Gary Oldman?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, he's totally out of shape. Like, always unshaven, has a bit of a gut, is always disheveled, is always farting.
Man, I'm just waiting. I'm pumped. I'm just waiting for New Kids in the Hall. You told me about that last week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
I hope it gets released all at once.
Nope, I don't. I do not. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's probably not. It's Prime Video. They're not into the dumping.
There'd be a big bag of weed in a weekend with my name on it for that. But no, you're right.
So,
yeah, no, Prime does.
Yeah, they're not going to go for that.
Episodic.
So, what's the status of that weed legalization bill that's hitting the Senate? Looks like...
Hold on. No, wait.
No,
wrong one.
Yeah,
is
you
that
predicted
status?
it. Yeah. Well, Schumer, who is like the proponent of this bill and the one that would be, the person responsible for shepherding this through the Senate approval process, seems to have given up on getting it to actually pass this month, or get a vote on it this month, which was what his original promise was. He said on several occasions, this is according to the Marijuana Moment, the bill he's been working on would be formally filed by the end of April. It's no longer the case, with the leader now saying the official introduction will take place sometime before the August recess.
Slow down. Maybe we'll get it in 4 months from now. That's what he just said.
Well, that's never good news, right? Because if they're pushing it back, that means they don't have the votes. If they don't have the votes now, what's going to change before the August recess? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
The answer is a big fat 0.
According to Morgan Fox, who is the political director of NORML, an organization that we're familiar with, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, Morgan Fox, I'm not sure the sex of the person, but they say cannabis support is not universal even among Democrats, let alone Republicans, who tend to lag much farther behind on this particular issue. As of now, there hasn't really been any substantive conversation about comprehensive cannabis policy reform at all in the Senate.
I mean, he's right. President Grandpa still thinks it's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
Still in that club.
And all this talk that we've heard about all the different, that's all coming from Congress, can we say? From the House. I'll call it the House. And none of that. Really, outside of Chuck Schumer and Cory Booker and Ron Wyden. Those are the only people in the Senate talking about it. Nobody else wants to even address this as an issue. Biden said a lot of things. His most recent stance on marijuana was actually that it should be decriminalized and that they should look at expunging records. But he has not, he hasn't made any indication that he's willing to sign a cannabis legalization bill, even if it does make it through the Senate.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. Las Cruces, New Mexico is getting they approved their first cannabis consumption lounge, I guess you'd call it. That's a horrible name for it. We're not going to call them consumption lounges, are we? That sounds like where Victorian people go to die.
And it sounds so frou-frou. So highfalutin. I'm going to the consumption lounge.
I think it sounds like they've got consumption and they're going to go there where they can smoke opium to relieve the pain until they die.
Right. It just sounds like where Jim Morrison went to die.
Yeah.
I went to the consumption lounge. Drank till I died. I don't know. Isn't it this year? It opens up, the first one at Pine Knob. Can we call it Pine Knob again?
Pine Knob's back and they've got their consumption lounge.
Yeah. I want to go to a concert just to do that. Be like, yeah, fuckers. Remember when we used to sneak it in here? Now you're selling it to us. And the joke's on who? Right.
Joke's on nobody. Like,
right? And now they're making money off of it. Used to have to put it in my wallet. Now, we're out of weed. Hey, we'll just go buy more. Be right back.
So not really related directly to cannabis, but it is interesting that Colorado House passed a bill to legalize MDMA.
Oh, really? So the MDMA is legal in Colorado?
Well, it's only been approved by the Colorado House, so it still has to go through the Senate. But the legalization approved by the House would legalize prescribing, dispensing, transporting, possessing, and using MDMA. It says, if the Food and Drug Administration approves the substance as a prescription drug.
That's a big if.
I'm not sure. I think that, there's been a lot of great studies, most notably PTSD, the treatment of PTSD, low doses of MDMA has been shown to help out extremely well with that. And, the idea that it came from a party drug is certainly not going to help it in this respect. But that being said, there's plenty of drugs that have been approved for medical use and are controlled substances. This would just be another controlled substance that has approved medical use.
And all the raver kids are moving to Denver. It's going to have the best parties.
That's the thing. I think they're more into the MDA now, the pure shit.
Dropping an M?
Yeah, I never understood what the difference is.
I used to know what it meant. I forget.
Yeah, but MDMA, that's more your traditional, I'm rolling, man, and you're, trying to chew your tongue off and babbling. Whereas MDMA is just like, I feel terrific.
I used to just like to sit in front of the speaker. I was that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be here for 9 hours. Don't bother me.
Yeah, I would bury my head in those fucking bass bins, man.
Just give me some weed, and I'll be good. And for God's sakes, change the beat up every once in a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd go sit in, the jungle room.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was always into.
Fucking sit in the techno room 4/4 for 6 hours just gets to you.
I like me some good 4/4 techno, but when I DJ, I like to break it up. So I'll play some 4/4, and then I'll play some, I don't know what you want to call it. Some call it broken beat, but just stuff that, like you said, mixes it up some.
To the house, I would sit in the house room for a second, but same thing. It's like, all right, or it's the disco room. Back to the jungle room where they play the weird shit.
Not enough booty rooms.
Right? Well, it's because we live up north.
Yeah.
If we lived further south, it'd have been all booty rooms. We'd have been not enough techno rooms.
True. Do you hear that Packard caught fire?
Oh, really? They burned it down?
Yeah.
The insurance money?
They didn't raise the place, but there were two separate fires that sprouted up, mysteriously right after.
It's crazy.
The owners got a very large bill from the city saying, clean this up or we'll clean it up and bill you for it.
Huh.
They're like, yeah, I know one way to reduce that thing to the ground for cheap.
Burn that bitch down. But it's still standing mostly.
I posted that announcement on Facebook, and a friend of mine commented with Vicks VapoRub accelerant.
There's tons of ring pop debris in there.
Yeah.
Catch fire. Old glow sticks.
Yeah, you get enough glow sticks together, maybe they could produce enough energy.
Old fat pants. We all had a pair, right?
Oh, certainly. I went more for the fat shorts that went down below the knee.
I had those
Kevin
too.
Smith style.
Yeah, but yeah, and I went more for the carpenter style.
Yeah?
Yeah, but still fat.
With the hammer pocket on the side?
Yeah. Just to still look kind of like rock and roll.
I see. I was thinking more like Dickies, like hip-hop style.
Maybe. I rolled with a weird crew at that time in my life. They were all over the place.
That's what I like about, like, that kind of late 90s, early 2000s fashion. It was like, it was all over the place. It was a mix of everything. People were taking influence from all kinds of sub-genres of music and sports and everything. There's a lot of crossover. A lot more crossover than you get these days in fashion and music.
Now if you wear cargo shorts, people make fun of you. Apparently cargo shorts that's dad fashion now.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't be caught dead.
I like pockets!
All right.
That's it. No more weed news.
That's it for weed news. Pockets, man. Let's hear it for pockets.
Let's hear it for pockets. Lots of pockets.
I like hot pockets.
Hot pockets.
But I don't like my pockets hot.
Right?
Well, it depends. I like to keep my pockets cool, but I like hot pockets.
It's cold morning. You have those little hand warmers.
Oh, that's true.
You know, there's not pockets. It's social media.
Not pockets.
So there's pockets of idiots. But if you're on social media, on Twitter, follow us at the Weeds Before 20. Or like us on Facebook. And go to ChristopherMedia.net, hit the Amazon banner, hit the PayPal button if you would like to help us out. And wherever you listen to the show, rate us, review us. Apparently you can't rate us on Google Podcasts, but you can rate us on Facebook, where you can subscribe to the podcast too. They made it easier. We hooked the RS feed to the Facebook page when we post a show there. You want to subscribe to the podcast? No need to go to ChristopherMedia.net. No need to go to iTunes or Google Podcasts or wherever. You could just subscribe on Facebook, where you can rate and review us. So do that, please, and thank you. And stay high.
Stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.